Okay, the last lecture in this particular series, I'm going to just put this back. I'm going to close that, close that. So I want to show you the toolbar. So I'm going to just make it. Oh, okay. So this is the move tool. So if we had like I just moved before, you could do that. This is a marquee tool, and actually, anytime there's a little triangle on the bottom right hand side, there are more tools. We're not going to use the artboard, but with the rectangular tool you also have ellipse, single row. So I'll just do this. So if you hold the shift key down, you can make a rectangle and we can move it. And so I want to grab this. Now if I do edit, cut, so now I just cut that off, and if I go to edit, paste, and I come back up to my move tool, so now I can move this wherever I want. And then if you notice in the layers, it was my background layer, and now I made this other layer. So this is a way that you could start making a montage. If you come up here to opacity, you can play with the opacity. So again, I'm going to go back to my history layer and I'm going to just delete that. Yes, I want to delete it. If I come back here again and I do this, I'm going to that didn't work. Okay, so never mind. Command D deletes it. So these are marquee tools. They're actually, you can cut things out a little bit more flowing. So the lasso tool, if you watch, so you have to have pretty good steady hand, which I absolutely do not. So now this is called marching ants. So this is basically the same thing. If I do Command C and then do Command V, I've basically made a cutout of that. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, if we go to the polygon, now I can have a little bit of a stronger, cleaner cut. Takes a little bit longer, but it is a little bit neater. And then when you come up to connect them, turns back into the tool with a little zero, and we have the marching ants again. So I'm just going to deselect that. One of the things, if you look up here, it gives you the opportunity, this is what's really important. The feather means how many pixels on either side of that marquee cutout that you're working in. You want to have it. 3 is usually good. Now the magnetic one is really great. And I'm hitting the right bracket on the keyboard to make this a little bigger. So basically you can just drag this and it's going to pick up the white color, unless you screw it up like I just did. And see how this one is one of my particular favorites. It's pretty easy. Mostly works. It's easy to actually fix that. Oops. So now what we can do is we can come back and I'll show you how I can fix that. So if we go back to the marquee tool and we hit the shift key, we just drag around that. Now fix that. Here, do the same thing. And then we can do the same thing here, more or less. Here we want to remove that, so we use the Alt key. Oops, sorry, I guess not. There we go. So anyway, that's that tool. I'm just going to hit deselect. The quick selection tool, that's a great tool. We can go see how it's just, that's real easy, right? And that's going to pick everything up that's a similar color. You do have some options in terms of your brush size, which helps. You can use it as a plus or a minus. There's no presets, but that's a nice way to work. And then we have the magic wand tool, which basically will pick any color that's similar. And if you hold the shift key down, you can keep doing that, or you can come up to select and you can hit similar, and then if you see all the similar color values will be there. This is the cropping tool. Okay, so you can see where it's grayed out on the sides. The reason why there's something at Linden, a 5x5 show that the chair of our department has put together at the Quimby Gallery, and basically I needed to crop something that was 5x5. I'm not a fan of cropping. I think that how you frame in the camera should be your final visualization, but some photographers really like cropping, so it's important to know the tool. So basically what you would do is you would drag it, and so this is right now this is on restrain, so we want to change it to ratio so that you can actually manipulate it. You see that there's a grid, so that kind of helps you set it up. Whoops. We don't want to go original ratio. Definitely allows you to do it any which way you want. If you hold the shift key down, it will constrain the proportions, but if not, you don't have to do that. You can also rotate this, which is actually rotating your image, and at the same time it's making the crop area smaller. So if I hit return now, that's my crop, and I've rotated it. Actually kind of looks amusing. Next tool, and so you have you have perspective. You can slice, the perspective tool. We're gonna, yeah, I never used this, so no idea, but anyway. And basically the perspective tool is if a building is looking like it's falling backward, parallax error. I think I posted that to a few students. You can use the perspective tool to bring it forward. The eyedropper tool will allow you to pick a color, so you can make a foreground or a background color. Again, you have some 3D tools. You can sample. You can use it for ruler or notes, which we're not going to use, so don't worry about it. This is a great tool. The healing brush tool is one of the greatest tools. So I'm going to make this really big so you can see it. So if you look at this, if I go like this, okay, so I gotta do that, and I'm gonna hit the Alt key, and I just got rid of all that. It's if you look inside of the brush, you can see how it's changing. So I'll make it really dramatic. I'll make this a little bit smaller by taking the left bracket you see here how I'm changing it. So I've totally wiped that out. Do the same thing here. So this is an excellent tool if you have portrait and you want to doctor up wrinkles or blemishes, or say you happen to get some dust on your sensor. This is an excellent way to use that. Spot brush does similar things. We're not going to make any patches here. If you had a red eye, I don't have red eye, but that will help change your red eye. Brushes, if you wanted to add your own graffiti to this, you could. If you drop this down, you have a whole lot of brushes that are set, or you could set them yourselves. The blend tools, we could, let's see here. Well, the color is not really changing. Oh, there we go. So we could add our own graffiti if we want, but why change what's already beautiful? The clone tool, this is a tool that will replicate things. So if I want to replicate feet, I hold the Alt key down and I come over here Okay. There we go. So now I'm replicating what's already there. So this is a good tool if you want to fix an area where maybe the trees didn't come out quite right and you want to bring a little bit of tree, or you want to change the background. It's one of the tools you can use. And we're not making any patterns. This is a history brush. We're probably not going to use that, but it's basically, it'll remember what you've done and it'll keep doing it. The eraser tool, so I'm going to erase stuff. So I have it on opaque. I'll do it 100%. There we go. So if I wanted to do that, now I've erased it back, and there's nothing there. Gradient tool. If I wanted to make a gradient, I could make a gradient, but it covers the whole thing, and that's if you're really starting from scratch. Paint bucket. I can fill it with different colors, and it's picking up similar colors. So that's what the paint bucket does. We're not doing 3D. So the blur tool, it's really, it's locked again. Well, it doesn't want to blur. Okay. Well, I don't know why it doesn't want to blur. Let's try smudge. Yeah, smudge is working. Smudge is great. See, look at smudge. Watch smudge. Let's change the strength. Yeah, smudge. Now, I don't exactly know why blur didn't want to work, but okay, these are very important tools. Okay, the dodge and the burn tool. These are photographic tools. if we use the dodge tool, that means that an area is too dark and I want to lighten it. So I have it at shadows. You want to keep this is usually at 50%. You want to keep this down pretty low. So now watch my black. Do you see how the black is starting to show up the red? I'm going to keep going so you can really see it. So there was red under there. And so you can see that. And we could, if we want to just increase it just so that you can really see it. There. So this you want to use very subtly. Now, the burn tool does just the opposite. It will put exposure back. So again, I have it on really low. I'll put it really high. Okay, see how, and it dulls it. So that's why you want to use it really low. It's not going to give you back the same tonal values that you already had. The pen tool is just another way to draw, which we're pretty much not going to use. The text tool, up here you can, if you wanted to, let's make this really big. Okay. I made a mess. And highlight it. Move it up here. So I made a mess. Rectangle. And it's just giving you a stroke, because if you look up here, I don't have a fill, but I can put a fill color in it. There's also ellipse, rectangle, all these other lines. This is the move, so we can move stuff around if we had a layer. We don't actually have a layer, so we can't, layer that's free. And the rotate tool, so we can rotate our image. And then this is the zoom tool, which you could just use the Z tool as well. And we're not editing the bar. So anyway, that is the toolbar. So that's where we are for right now. And next time we'll get into editing some photographs and talk to you soon.